CI Fanatic says, hi, Charlie. If the season started today, who is your opening day lineup? All right. I like this. By the way, thanks for watching, guys. Comment, like, subscribe. I appreciate it. Okay. I love this question. I want to hear your guys' opinions as well. So let's just start. Let me first start by going defensively. So I'm going to start. So Wilson Contreras is catching. Obviously, Arenado at third. I'm starting Tommy Edman at short. And I'm going to assume, is it Alek Manoah probably starting? So you got a righty on the mound. I'm just going to give you my lineup regardless of who's on the mound. So Brendan Donovan starts at second base for me, opening day. Paul Goldschmidt starting at first base, obviously. All right, we'll have some fun. I think right now you got to say Jordan Walker is your starting left fielder. Today, if I have to make the decision today, Jordan Walker is my starting left fielder. I'm gonna go Tyler O'Neill is my starting center fielder. I'm gonna go Lars Nootbaar is my starting right fielder. And I'm gonna throw a bone. This is where the righty-lefty matchup comes in. I think the Cardinals, they're gonna give the more veteran players the first crack. So you could see somebody like Dylan Carlson, who's your DH. But if it's a righty, you got Nolan Gorman also. That's where, man, Jordan Walker really changes the conversation if he is the starting left fielder for the Cardinals. Because if you asked me this 3 weeks ago, I would have said for sure, at least assuming health, I would have said that, and this is also kind of before we heard that the Cardinals want Tyler O'Neill to play center field. But if you'd asked me 3 weeks ago, I would have said Tyler O'Neill left, probably Dylan Carlson center, Lars Nootbaar in right, and I'm going to give Nolan Gorman the first shot at DH. And that's where, look, this is a good problem to have with depth, but if Jordan Walker is your everyday, opening day starting left fielder, all of a sudden you're talking about on day one a decision whether to play somebody like Dylan Carlson or Nolan Gorman. One of those guys is most likely going to sit, and Gorman probably the DH versus righties. So Carlson, the switch hitter. But I'm telling you, man, that's very intriguing because Jordan Walker really changes the whole conversation in terms of if that guy's out there. And look, if he makes the opening day roster, he's going to play every day. He's going to play every day. He's either going to succeed and never leave the lineup for the next 10 years for the Cardinals, or if he fails, after a month or so, they potentially send him back down. They're not going to kind of put him with a bench role up with the Cardinals. If he struggles to start the year during the regular season, after a month or so, I bet you they send him down and let him figure it out with 4 to 5 plate appearances per day. So right there, I gave you the defensive alignment. So if I'm going lineup, I'm kind of spitballing this, but I like the look of Brendan Donovan as a leadoff guy with that 394 on base percentage. So I may kind of switch my answers as I go here, but I'm going to go with Brendan Donovan leadoff. Let's go ahead and put Tyler O'Neill second. This is where I start to confuse myself because there's so many good right-handed hitters for the Cardinals. I don't want to have just a million righties in a row. But we'll go Brendan Donovan, Tyler O'Neill. We'll go Nolan Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt, or switch those guys, obviously. Goldie hitting third, Arenado hitting fourth. Let's go Wilson Contreras fifth. Man, I'd really like to put a lefty in there. So to me, that's either going to be in this scenario, Nolan Gorman is starting. I can see Nolan Gorman as your 6-hole. Jordan Walker, you don't want him too far down. Is he hitting 7th? Does that mean Lars Nootbaar is batting 8th and Tommy Edman 9th? If you think about how good this lineup could be, if Jordan Walker hits and if Nolan Gorman hits, think about that. And there's no right way to say this because Lars Nootbaar, he could be the leadoff guy. Remember, he batted leadoff versus Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola in the playoffs and was really good. Took walks, got hits. I mean, think about that. What do you guys think? Because all of a sudden I'm making decisions where I have a Jordan Walker batting 7th and somebody like Lars Nootbaar, who is the new international face of baseball with the pepper grinder, and he's maybe batting 8th for this team? Am I crazy? What do you think? I love Tommy Edman at 9, though. I love him as the switch hitting double leadoff. What do you guys think of my lineup there? And there's so many interchangeable parts. That's where the Cardinals have, look, you got a great advantage against lefties. You can totally stack a lineup of a ton of power hitting righties versus a righty. That's where, look, Dylan Carlson had the home run the other day versus a right-handed pitcher. Hit a ball out at Roger Dean Stadium, just crushed a baseball. That's good to see. Nolan Gorman's going to face most righties. Again, if Nolan Gorman is healthy, he's going to hit at least 25 home runs. You can book that right now. If he's healthy, he's going to hit at least 25 home runs. The one guy from that show, let's go Charlie, loving the Newt. Yep. Levi Andreessen says Jordan Walker making the opening day roster. For me right now, he's on it. I don't know how right now you can leave Jordan Walker off the opening day roster. You can't at this point. But there's 2.5, 3 more weeks for him potentially to fail. But right now, I don't know how you leave that man off the roster. Noah Jones, what are the chances Cards put Walker at 3rd during the days Nolan takes off? That's a good question. Or is Walker officially done with third base? I think because you're making a difficult switch to the outfield, I think you probably want to keep him in the outfield. I think long term, the dude's 6'6", 250. He's going to end up being 6'6", 260, 265. He's going to be looking like Aaron Judge. I think he ends up as a first baseman. I don't think you mess with him this year, putting him at 3rd. I think you let him focus on the outfield. Jordan Walker can protect Goldie and Arenado. Yeah, look, dude, if Jordan Walker hits, I don't think you're going to start him. Are you going to start him batting 2nd? Maybe you are. To me, take the pressure off, bat him 7th, bat him 6th, whatever it is, and all of a sudden, if he's hitting in the regular season, he moves up, he's batting 5th. Next thing you know, he's batting 2nd. But let's just let's ease him into it. Redbirds, to me, Jordan looks good in the box. Maybe we were waiting for him to fully fill out. Think about that. Dude's 6'6", 250, and you're waiting for him to fully fill out, which is why it's not even crazy to think that the dude could be 265, 270 5 years from now and look good with that weight. He could look like a slightly smaller version of Aaron Judge, who's 282. We looked that up. Donnie looking strong from Thomas Meyer. Yeah, Brendan Donovan. Shane Spurgettis. Heck of a lineup potentially. This lineup's going to be freaking nasty. Levi says Don, Newt, Goldie, Nolan, Contreras, O'Neill, Gorman, Walker, Tommy. Walker batting 8th. Yeah. I like that too. You're talking about versus a righty, stacking a couple lefties first in Brendan Donovan and Lars Nootbaar. You got so many good interchangeable parts. It's a good problem to have. Ford Wright, trying to temper my expectations, but this lineup can be so good with guys you hate to bench, chomping at the bit for ABs. I think until I was asked that question earlier in the chat, but until you put the lineup together and you realize that on opening day, if Jordan Walker is in your opening day lineup as your starting left fielder, when you realize that you're going to be sitting probably either Dylan Carlson or Nolan Gorman in the first game of the season, that shows you how freaking deep this lineup is.